Welcome to Gaia's Calling, where stories ignite your spirit and the earth whispers her secrets. I'm Brad Swift, a write-on-purpose author of eco-fiction and nonfiction, inviting you to become an eco-guardian. Together, let's explore the wonders of our world and take action to protect them. Listen closely, Gaia is calling. And today's call is red, white, and burnt, the cost of independence at any price. When energy laws celebrate domination over stewardship, it's time for a new kind of patriotism, rooted in the four great truths. Was it really a big, beautiful bill? You know, before the fireworks faded this year, and Rascal, my canine companion, had finally calmed down, I found myself caught in the sparks of something else entirely, a clash of narratives surrounding H.R. 1, dubbed by some the Big Beautiful Bill. I'd heard plenty of heated rhetoric from Democratic leaders condemning the bill as a blatant handout to the wealthy and fossil fuel interest. But then I read a very different take, this time from a thoughtful, Trump-supporting acquaintance who spoke glowingly of the bill's promise for energy independence and economic revival. So I did what I often do when something doesn't sit quite right on either side. I paused. I got quiet. And I chose to look for myself, not through the lens of party loyalty, not through the red versus blue tribalism that dominates our national conversation, but through the deeper lens of one cause, a project I've been living, writing, and inviting others into, since the last election. Because the truth is, we don't just need new policies. We need a new foundation for policy making itself. Consider this. A worldview that doesn't pit us against each other or against the planet we depend on, but one that recognizes our interdependence and shared future. And this bill, whether you love it or hate it, it reveals exactly what happens when we legislate from a dysfunctional and unsustainable worldview. So, let's unpack that. What is the Big Beautiful Bill really about? H.R. 1, officially titled the Lower Energy Cost Act, is a sweeping piece of legislation aimed at ramping up fossil fuel extraction, deregulating environmental protections, and accelerating the permitting process for energy development, including oil, gas, and yes, mining. Its supporters frame it as a bold move towards energy independence and economic prosperity. Its critics argue it's a catastrophic giveaway to fossil fuel corporations, furthering environmental degradation and inequality. From the surface, it's a political clash like any other. But let's go deeper. What if the real issue isn't just the bill content, but the worldview beneath it? The four great truths at work. As part of one cause, I've identified what I call the four great untruths. These are core assumptions that quietly shape much of our modern life, including our political systems. They're not just wrong. They're dangerously out of alignment with indigenous wisdom of the ages, modern science, and the living systems we depend on. So, let's see how H.R. 1 shows up with these untruths. Number one, untruth, we are separate from nature. This untruth justifies treating the earth as a resource pit rather than a living partner. H.R. 1 reinforces this by stripping away environmental safeguards and fast-tracking extraction as if the land were inert, disposable, and unfeeling. Great untruth number two, more is always better. Well, the bill celebrates growth, especially fossil-fueled economic growth without acknowledging limits or consequences. It promotes more drilling, more mining, more consumption, as if expansion were the name and the same as prosperity. And great untruth number 3, the Earth resources are infinite. Nowhere does HR 1 reckon with planetary boundaries. There is no mention of climate tipping points, ecological degradation, or the cost to future generations. It's the legislative equivalent of raiding Earth's savings account with no plan to repay. And last of all, great untruth, technology will save us. Number 4. The bill leans heavily on innovation and deregulation, assuming that if we just remove enough red tape, market forces and tech will fix what's broken, without needing to rethink the deeper patterns that created the problem in the first place. This isn't to demonize those who support the bill. It's simply to shine light on the operating system beneath it, and to ask, what if we chose a different foundation? Like the 4 great truths. And what if they were a compass for regenerative governance? Now imagine a bill shaped not by domination, scarcity, and short-term thinking, but by life-affirming truths grounded in ancient wisdom, ecological science, and human dignity. These are the 4 great truths we explore in One Cause. Number 1, great truth, interconnectedness. All life is connected. We flourish together or not at all. Policy grounded in this truth would account for the well-being of watersheds, pollinators, ecosystems, and future generations, not just GDP. Great truth number 2, sufficiency. There is enough for everyone when we use it wisely and share fairly. Rather than hoarding or extraction, sufficiency prioritizes equity, access, and regenerative design. Great truth number 3, reciprocity with nature. We are part of nature's web, not outside it. True freedom isn't the right to exploit, but the ability and opportunity to give back. Policy aligns with this truth would build soil, restore forests, and invest in life-giving systems. And great truth number 4, humanity as stewards, not masters. We are not rulers over nature, but caretakers within it. Governance rooted in stewardship sees leadership as service, not domination, and future-proofing as, sacred responsibility. These truths aren't partisan, they're planetary. They're not left or right, they're forward. And we desperately need politics that reflect them. So, what are we legislating for? Maybe that's the real question this July 4th. Not just what we're celebrating, but what we're voting for, organizing for. Most importantly, teaching our children about. Are we defending a system that's unraveling the very fabric of life? Or are we willing to co-create a new foundation, one rooted in truth, not ideology? I don't know exactly what that next system looks like, but I know this. It won't emerge from cynicism or despair. It will emerge from bold honesty, radical responsibility, and fierce love for Earth, for each other, and for all generations to come. So, here's a mini mission. Read with new eyes. This week, Take a few minutes to read one piece of legislation, not from outrage or allegiance, but from curiosity. And this could also be a Facebook, extensive post on the subject of politics. Then ask yourself, what worldview does this reflect? Who or what benefits? Who or what is left out? And how would this be different if we legislated from the 4 great truths? Then share your reflections with a friend or social media, or even better with your local representative, or how about right here under the comment section? Let's turn governance into a conversation worth having. So here's some final reflection. This isn't about red versus blue. It's about life versus collapse. Unity versus division. Possibility versus business as usual. It's time we moved from the extractive politics to purposeful politics. And the shift begins not in Washington, but right here with us. In our hearts, our homes, our homesteads, our circles of care. Because the most radical thing we can do right now is believe that a better system is possible. And then, brick by brick, truth by truth, build it. Oh, and here's a P.S. For the young, and yes, you young at heart, as I've reflected on all this, I found myself imagining a future walk through the woods with grandson Logan. He's only 4 now, but I picture him at 10 or 12 asking, Grandduke, what kind of world are we making? That image inspired me to craft a companion piece, a version of this message told with curiosity, playfulness, and yes, some muddy boots. One for the kids, one for the classrooms, one for the eco-guardians in training. I'll be sharing it early next week. I hope you'll read it aloud with a young one in your life, or maybe with the still young part of your own heart. So, stay tuned. And oh yes, one of the PSS, or is it PPS? Anyway, David Attenborough's Ocean. I watched it this past week, a couple different segments. Oh wow. They talk about it as being the world's leading natural historian, which I think he's right up there, draws on a lifetime of knowledge to reveal how Earth's vast interconnected waterways can be restored. I highly recommend it, which is why I'm leaving a link to it. Take care.